Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about the ISU-152. Hope you guys will enjoy this video. The ISU-152 was an armored fighting vehicle which saw service from the Second World War up until the current day and has fought in 4 different conflicts. These conflicts include the Second World War, the Korean War, the Hungarian Revolution and the Egyptian-Israeli War. The ISU-152 was also used by a lot of different nations. These nations include the Soviet Union, Finland, Poland, China, Czechoslovakia, North Korea, Egypt and Romania. The ISU-152 was unveiled in 1943. It came with a full enclosed 152mm howitzer on the KV-1S chassis. Although the ISU-152 was fairly successful in combat, the production of the KV-1S chassis came to an end. This made modernization necessary. They decided to use the IS tank chassis. This also included improved armor protection and other small changes. The development for this began back in July 1943. It was tested the same year from September to November 1943. These test results concluded that there were in fact a lot of deficiencies, which were sent back for further improvement, and in December 1943 production began for the ISU-152 to replace the ISU-152. The ISU sought to have several different variants. These include the ISU-152-2, Object 704, ISU-152K and ISU-152M. The ISU-152 was about 9 meters long, its width was 3.1 meters and its height was 2.5 meters. It weighed about 47.3 tons and it was outfitted with a 152.4 ML-20S gun howitzer. And the ISU could house up to 20 rounds for its main armament. The reloading process did take a while. The average rounds per minute was sitting at 1 to 3. It also had a very low shell velocity. The shell velocity for this tank would sit at about 650 meters per second. Since the ISU-152's gun was mounted in the casemate, aiming it was very awkward and it had to be done by repositioning the entire vehicle using its tracks. The secondary armament consisted of a DSHK anti-aircraft machine gun, which had about 200 rounds of ammunition. The ISU top speed on road was about 40 km an hour and off-road this was reduced to 30 km an hour. It had an 11 horsepower to ton ratio and its operational range was 120 km on cross terrain and 200 km on the road with its internal fuel tanks. And the ISU was produced 4,635 times. You can now look at the armor values on screen. The frontal armor was barely angled and its thickest point was 90mm thick, which for 1944 standards wasn't a lot. The ISU-152 was used in a wide variety of ways. One of these ways was as a heavy assault gun, where the ISU was an extremely valuable weapon in urban combat situations as the Battle of Berlin, Budapest and Königsberg. The huge high explosive rounds were excellent at blasting open even the most heavy fortified and reinforced enemy strongholds. The ISU-152 could also be used as a heavy tank destroyer, though it was not designed for this role. It had the ability to potentially knock out the best protected German fighting vehicles. These vehicles include the Panther tank, the Tiger I and the Tiger II, and even the rare Elephant and Jagdtiger tank destroyers. The massive blast effect from the high explosive warheads was capable of blowing the turret off a Tiger tank. A direct hit either destroyed or damaged the target's tracks or suspension, immobilizing it. While the low velocity 152mm shell did not generally penetrate the heavy armor, it could have killed or severely wounded the crew through spalling. Due to the brittle nature of German tank steel during the later stages of the war, it was common for impacted armor plates to shatter from a concussive blast or for the weld lines to break, allowing the entire armor piece to fall away. Anyway guys, that was it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to see more of my content, and have a very good day.